Gearing up for Steven Universe's return in winter has me questioning each and every avenue the show could explore when new episodes finally resume, whenever that is. I feel like the series is finally done dancing around and shrouding the diamonds in secrecy, at least the established two, Blue and Yellow Diamond. So, beyond just being the big bad villains, what role could they play in Season 5 that shakes up the dynamic and status quo? Well, I think I may have figured it out. Let's talk about it today on Crystal Clear. This episode of Crystal Clear is brought to you by Quid. Quid is an immersive hands-on app where you can collect digital stickers, trading cards, and toys based off your favorite series such as The Amazing World of Gumball, Rick and Morty, and of course, Steven Universe. There's also some great throwbacks in there like Billy and Mandy, Etta and Eddie, and Johnny Bravo. How do you obtain these wonderful items, you may ask? With coins. The beauty of it is, you can get free coins just by logging in every few hours. And I'm talking like thousands of coins, not a few hundred. There's also plenty of freebies, but be warned, packs sell out and fast. So you gotta hustle if you want the collectible you're seeking. Without a doubt, my favorite part about Quid is the feature to use the stickers you collect in everyday texting conversation. Gems over emojis any day. Look, you can just drag and drop them onto the message. Got an embarrassing text you want to cover up? No problem. Quid's got you covered. You can also make some new acquaintances by trading your cards, stickers, and toys with other users on the app. Hey, we're on there too. Username is AwestruckVox. Quid is available for iOS and Android. Link in the description. Now let's get on with Crystal Clear. Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm your host, AwestruckVox. Let's talk about the diamonds. The two have been used very sparingly leading up to the trial, but I believe that alone is the turning point in the series when it comes to their development. When you think about it, eliminate the hiatuses and the diamonds have begun appearing a bit more frequently ever since Steven's dream. There are only 11 episodes in between That'll Be All and the trial, and while that may seem like a bit of time, consider how frequently other gems appear. Unless they're inducted into the main cast, there's a lot more than 11 episodes in between their appearances. And you realize that with the diamonds, they've become a lot more prominent. It only makes sense. After all, they're built up to be the biggest opposing forces to the Crystal Gems, and the show has worked itself up to a point where they can no longer be ignored. As we've addressed a few times on this channel, the diamonds tend to mirror our main cast of Crystal Gems. The core theme beyond similar personalities is that the diamonds, like the Crystal Gems, are dealing with a heavy loss and still processing it despite a significant amount of time passing. Rose Quartz has only been gone for 14 years, which could be a long time to a human, but the diamonds have been dealing with the loss of Pink Diamond for thousands of years. The diamonds explicitly are being utilized to explore different ways of dealing with grief, or rather, how not to deal with grief. To reiterate briefly, Blue Diamond is holding on to everything she can in relation to Pink Diamond, letting everything affect her, while Yellow wants to hold on to nothing, let nothing affect her. Now, let's revisit the Season 5 synopsis for Steven Universe, as it provides a great clue for the Diamond's arc beyond the trial. Friendships are tested as the saga continues in this Emmy-nominated series created by Rebecca Sugar. The show returns with new adventurous story arcs and specials, in which fans will meet more gems, spend time with the diamonds, and gain insight into the ever-mysterious gem homeworld, while the series' titular hero, Steven Universe, will grow as a leader. Something that went over my head until recently is the scope and magnitude held by the statement, friendships are tested. What friendships, or a more fitting term, relationships, are exactly being put to the test? Well, after the sneak peek of Dewey Wins, we have a much clearer idea. We have Steven at odds with not only Connie, but Lion after the fallout of turning himself into Homeworld. Assumably, everyone will be affected by this in some way, shape, or form, but Connie and Lion are definitely the immediate opposers to Steven's actions. There's Peridot and Lapis, one who wants to defend the Earth, while the other wants to abandon it, to avoid not getting caught up in another war for a planet that's been so awful to them. Lars and Sadie, who are now an entire solar system apart and didn't even leave off on the best note in their last interaction, have left much unresolved romantic tension between the two. There's also a possibility Greg's trust and relationship with Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl will be strained. There's a brief scene in the San Diego Comic-Con trailer that raises a few eyebrows and makes you wonder if Greg will be a little less comfortable with having his son, his own flesh and blood, under the gem's wing. I mean, they don't physically have wings, but they could definitely shapeshift them. I mean, Amethyst turned into an owl before, you get the point. What I didn't account for, however, are the diamonds. As parallels to the main cast, it stands to reason that the relationships will undergo serious changes as well. Yellow and blue are equals yet opposites, and because of this, their personalities clash. And after Steven's visit to Homeworld, emotions and tensions are at an all-time high. Now, I don't believe Yellow Diamond was the culprit behind shattering Pink Diamond. I truly do believe she either knows something and wants to shield the truth from Blue, or is just simply adamant to leave this tragedy in the past for good. That putting Rose on trial and entertain the notion of anyone beyond Rose being the culprit is a waste of time. The concept of Steven's visit to Homeworld changing everything goes way beyond Earth. In fact, Rebecca Sugar stated at New York Comic Con 2017, Steven is home, but nothing is ever going to go back to the way it was. Really, from now on, we get to explore a very different situation for him. Nothing ever going back to the way it was likely doesn't apply to just Steven and the Crystal Gems, but the diamonds as well. Steven fled from the diamonds literally seconds after the concept of one of them being responsible for shattering Pink Diamond was introduced, a concept that really upset the small gathering in that room. Now, I discussed before the possibility of Blue Diamond turning heel and becoming an ally of sorts to the Crystal Gems, but before that can even happen, she'll have to cut ties with Yellow Diamond completely. Again, I don't believe Yellow shattered Pink, like, at all. That's way too easy. Plus, Yellow seemed really hurt in the climax of What's the Use of Feeling Blue. I don't think they would explore an angle of Yellow shutting down and pushing everything away, things that could expose her vulnerability and true emotions just to go, oh, she's the killer. I do think that Yellow deflecting everything and being in such a hurry to move on will reach a breaking point in this season. Blue Diamond can't trust her as easily as she used to. Her temper is just out of control, and it does look sketchy, all things considered. With these two at odds, a tension that's been building up since the Zoo arc, we could see this escalate into a cold war between the diamonds. For the uninitiated, in history, the Cold War was a state of geopolitical tension after World War II between powers in the Eastern Bloc, the Soviet Union and its satellite states, and powers in the Western Bloc, the United States, its NATO allies, and others. Historians do not fully agree on the dates, but a common time frame is the period between 1974, the year of the Truman Doctrine, a US foreign policy pledging to aid nations threatened by the Soviet expansionism, was announced, and 1991, the year the Soviet Union collapsed. The term cold is used because there was no large-scale fighting directly between the two sides involved in the conflict, although there were major regional wars, known as proxy wars, supported by the two sides. We could very well see this here, both courts and diamonds at odds, making severe threats, even testing out weapons, not quite at each other's throats, but very close to that point. And hey, Cold War, Blue Diamond's court has a knack for water and ice powers. I think it's pretty witty. This could even lead to Yellow Diamond's patience with the cluster emergence being completely broken as she demands for the geo weapon immediately, not actually planning to use it on Blue Diamond or her court, but utilizing it as an empty threat. An ordeal kinda like, hey, my big brother will beat you up. There he is right there. You don't want to get on my bad side. Maybe Homeworld Gems checking up on the cluster for that reason is what brings the Shorty Squad to the prime kindergarten. Ultimately, I don't see the diamonds actually physically hurting one another, whether if it's due to just restraints as they do share a strong love, or because the Mac Mama of them all, White Diamond, finally gets involved and puts an end to the feud, which would be a great way to introduce her into the story. I hope the last thing any of the diamonds want, especially White, is for her to get involved too little too late, and Homeworld will be put into a position where they have to remove yet another diamond from the insignia. But as always, these are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours. Do you believe Yellow and Blue Diamond can work through their issues? Are we on a brink of a new gem war of a different kind? One where Rose Quartz is still technically the catalyst to it all, but not a front runner? Please, comment your thoughts below, or tweet them directly to me at AwestruckVox. You can also follow us at Roundtable Vids on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for updates on videos and all of our shenanigans. You can also add us on Snapchat at RoundtableYT. Be sure to download Quid. You can also join our Discord, download our official Amino app, and if you want to help us grow, consider supporting us for $1 on Patreon. If you want to support your fellow diamond, why not snag a Yellow Diamond or a Blue Diamond tee and hoodie? Links to everything in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like, share it, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Be sure to turn on that notification bell so you never miss a Steven Universe video from the Roundtable. I hope you have a beautiful day, and AwestruckVox signing out.